Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host. My name is Q. This is the last interview of 2021. So this is the last person that we have on here is, I believe, my youngest guest ever. So we're gonna go out with a bang with this episode. So new artist on here. Artist, please introduce yourself.
What's good, y'all? My name is 3G. I'm an upcoming artist. I'm 15 years old. Be 16 in a month. But yeah, I'm 15 years old. I'm an upcoming artist. I'm currently based in Columbus, Ohio. And yeah, that's me.
Welcome to the show, 3G. You may know this person from out of Columbus, Ohio, with the song "Poppin' Off." That dropped not too long ago, a little earlier this year, and we were in Cleveland one time. I don't know what we were up in Cleveland for, but we was up there in Cleveland, and we turned that on in a whip, and I'm like, okay, this song goes. So I'm finally getting a chance to sit down with 3G, and we're going to talk about it. He got a project coming out that we're going to talk about a little later. But first of all, I want to ask you about your upbringing. You said you're 15 going on 16 soon, but were you born in Ohio or Columbus?
Nah, I was born in Appleton, Wisconsin. And then I've been moving around a lot. Just ever since I was really little, we moved around a lot. So yeah, I was born in Appleton, and then I think when I was 2 weeks old, we went out to California, and then about when I was 1, came back to Wisconsin. When I was 8, we moved to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and then yeah, now I'm 15 and I'm out in Columbus, Ohio. So,
oh man, so y'all been around. So were you predominantly growing up in the Columbus area?
nah, I've only been here for like a few months
Okay,
actually. But the situation is because I'm in split households.
got you.
So my mom's is back in Wisconsin, my dad's out here in Ohio. So I have a little back and forth thing going on. Uh, but yeah, we really only been living out here for a few months.
Okay, so you may be traveling back and forth, but the mic goes everywhere because you're an
So,
artist. All right. So between both places, in Wisconsin and Ohio, what's the life like there? What's the culture like in both of those places?
Wisconsin, there ain't much culture there. I'm gonna be honest. It's mostly just like polka dancing, cows, and farmland. That's about it.
All right.
Um, Out here in Columbus, like I said, I ain't been out here for very long, so I haven't really got a chance to get to know, what the culture's like around here. But
Well, you're going to find out. I guess the longer you stay, the longer you get to know an area. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Thanks for sharing that. And uh, how long have you been doing what you do? How long have you been making music in general?
probably since about I was 13, I think.
Mhm.
Things since I was 13, that's when I started making or trying to do music.
Got you. And when it comes to what you were listening to or what you listen to now, what did you come up on musically?
When I was really little, um, I didn't, I didn't have a phone when I was real little, so I wasn't like picking out my music. But a lot of the stuff I grew up around, um, it was it was a good mix because I grew up listening to um, like some R&B and hip hop, but also like some rock and country on the other side. It was really just what was playing in my environment. But once I was, again, probably around 13, I started really getting into like R&B, like old school R&B, like Brian McKnight, Boys to Men, um, all that kind of stuff. And eventually, that transitioned into hip hop, and then um, yeah, that's really what I grew up on, was just when I was real little, probably a mix of kind of everything. But then as I got older, I started really listening to like R&B, and hip hop mainly. Like I got into hip hop listening to like Eminem, um, Juice World, probably. That was later, but mainly Eminem, um, Logic, um, and Biggie. Like that was like my introduction to rap. Um, and then from there, I started getting into more like alternative hip hop, like Mac Miller, and um, I just completely drew a blank. I
That's
just
all right.
completely drew a blank, man. But nah,
I got
nah.
a question for you. Uh, because hold the alternative hip hop thought. Because what year were you born?
I was born 2006.
2006. Okay, this is I've been waiting to ask you, just because you're the youngest person I've ever had. And all right, I was born in 93. So when, coming up, like Eminem was on the radio when I was coming up, and you said that Eminem and Biggie, those guys kind of got you into hip hop. Now, what I can understand Eminem, because Eminem is still uh he still drops here and there, and things like that. But in regards to somebody like Biggie and maybe some of the other 90s guys that you got into, what drew you to someone like Biggie? Or if got into some Pac records and stuff like that, what drew you to go back into the 90s?
Well, like I said, I was already into old school R&B.
Okay.
Um, so just kind of through that, I started just kind of getting into like the old school rap. Um, and I just fell in love with that because, um, I love the storytelling ability and I didn't hear that anywhere else. That's what made me start to love rap, was that you can tell stories and you can say things, um, and you can have certain lyrics, you can have certain wordplay that you can't put in anything else. You don't hear in other kinds of music. And that was really like dominant in like 80s, 90s, and early 2000s hip hop, um, where it was really focused on the storytelling, on lyricism, on rhymes and punchlines, um, and really just telling your story. Um, like that's what really drew me in, because again, like I said, I didn't hear that nowhere else. So that was just really interesting to me.
Got you. Thanks for sharing. And then you talk about the alternative hip hop, like Mac Miller's. You talked about Juice World. Was there anybody else who you may be listening to now, or may have an influence over your sound?
My main influences will probably be over my current sound. I would say probably um, Travis, probably Lil Baby, probably um, Dirk, probably um, uh, Future, Young Thug, and that's who inspires my current sound. But in terms of like what I'm listening to right now, that'd be more like Polo G, Ji, Lil TJ, Bryson Tiller, um, MF Doom, and like I said, Mac Miller. So, and I know that don't sound like, that's not like one certain genre,
Hmm.
but like I just be listening to a really wide range of stuff. Um, so yeah, that's probably the artists that probably have the most influence over me right now.
Got you. Got you. Understood. And that's a good thing too, having a mix of everything. Like you throw in, you go from Lil TJ to MF Doom, who are on two completely different ends of the spectrum. And that's a good thing because you think about somebody like Juice World. Now, I didn't listen to Juice World all the time, but if Juice World was only listening to drill or hip hop, he wouldn't have the sound that he had when he was still currently making music. When it came to actually recording music, and you said you were 13, right? When you like really started picking up with making music. Now, what was it like just trying to like before you were even recording, matter of fact, when did you start to play around with words or maybe sing a little bit or rap a little bit? Was that at 13 as well?
That was probably around 11 when I really
Okay.
started like just messing around with it because my dad um, he's a singer as well, and when he was younger um, he would do shows and stuff, and he would make his own music. Um, so around the time I was 11, um, I started wanting to do that kind of thing, like be a pop singer or R&B singer. Um, but so yeah, I kind of started messing around with like just singing or like just writing a little bit here and there, probably around the time I was 11.
Hmm. And eventually you get to 13 and you start recording music. What did you
Yeah,
start recording on?
I started recording on my phone.
Mhm.
Um, my phone. I had this app called Vocoder. I think that's what it was called. So it would either be on my phone or it would be with my dad's microphone because he had a little studio set up. So I would either record on my phone or I would record with him.
Okay, that's what's up. So your dad had a good influence over you when it came to the music.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So what was that first song like? What was that first song sounding like?
Um, mm, Not good. It wasn't anything special. I was talking with my cousin about this the other day. And I look back on the first song I posted on SoundCloud.
Hmm.
Uh, just yeah, nothing special. It was nothing very good. I had like the idea of how I wanted to flow, and I had the idea of kind of what I wanted to do, but I really didn't know how to put that into practice. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Things like music, everything. When you pick something up, it takes time, right? So uh, the first song, my first podcast, it wasn't all that great. So just picking up anything, it takes some time. So when it comes to music, we're going to transition into that first song to kind of how you're doing today. What did you end up having to do when it came to beat selection, maybe production, recording? How did things kind of progress? Let's just say production wise, we'll start there. Do you make your own beats or sounds or anything like that?
Um, I've been really getting into like composing and producing recently,
Hmm.
um, but not necessarily beats, more just kind of songs that don't need lyrics, kind of thing. Um, but when I first started, like I said, I was listening to a lot of Logic and Eminem. So that's the kind of songs or that's the kind of beats that I would search up. I would just search up on YouTube, Free for Profit, um, Logic or Joyner Lucas or Eminem type beat. And I think the first thing that I had to do was change who I was listening to because um, change what my influence was because um, the thing is, like that sound, it didn't really fit me. Um, but it took a while for me to actually realize that it didn't fit me. Um, And so, like I said, I would search for like Logic type beat or something, and I would try to rap, as fast as I could, or I would try to just speed through it, um, or just try to make like a mainstream hit, without really realizing like that's not my thing. Like I've come to realize now that I'm a thousand times more better at making something that's personal, making something about that's really telling my story, than trying to make something for the radios or trying to make like a club bang or something like that. And I think that's what I was trying to do initially, um, was try to make um, like music for everybody. Um, and I didn't know how to like tell my story. I didn't know how to um, like put my emotions and my thoughts into words yet. So I was kind of just making this whatever, um, just whatever came to mind, and it usually ended up not being good. Um, so yeah, that's the first thing. I had to change the production, um, to. I think what I initially did was, changed my influences, and I started, um, doing a little bit more down tempo type beats, um, a little bit, just the kind of beats that I could take my time on, and that weren't too hype, so that I felt like I had to make it a hit or make it a bangers or nothing like that. Just something where I could slow down and take my time and uh, say what I wanted to say, um, instead of trying to make something that sounds like it would be on the radio. Uh, no, I kind of went off on a tangent, but if any of that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. I get that. You have to find yourself as an artist. Um, it all made sense. Yeah, that all made sense. Because you
Uh,
come up like honestly, like when I was coming up, 50 Cent was the hottest artist. So everybody who rapped was trying to sound like I'll shoot you up, bang, bang, knock you out. I got seven bodies. Like, everybody was trying to sound like 50, but
right.
as time progressed, people found their own lanes. So that makes absolutely complete perfect sense. So so you changed up who you were listening to and your influences when it came to uh like rhyming on the beat. You kind of found your lane too. You kind of found what you wanted to do and how you fit best on certain production. When it came to recording and things like that, I see you got the nice mic set up right there. You got the pop filter over there. It seems like you got a nice setup. So how was the actual recording process when it came to equipment over time?
Um, Over time, I had to, well, because the first microphone that I actually bought for myself, was just a $60 microphone off Amazon, which it wasn't bad, um, but it wasn't great either. And it worked for a time being, just to kind of practice and get used to having a microphone in front of me. That's what I record a lot of my old songs on. Um, and that was before I even had a laptop. I just took it was a USB microphone. So what I did was I took a USB to USB-C. I just
Mhm.
plugged the microphone directly into my phone, and then I would listen to. I would use my tablet, and I would listen to the beat in my headphones, and then I would record the. I would record the on my phone. I would record on my phone my vocals, um, and then I would go downstairs to our family computer, and I would upload my vocals from my phone to the computer, and I would upload the beat as well. And I was using the demo version of FL Studio, so just the free version. So everything, and in the free version, you can't save nothing. So what I would do, I would take the recording from my phone, I would take the beat from my tablet, I put them on the computer, and then I would mix it and put everything together all in one sitting. Um, and that's how my initial recording process was. Um, But after a while, and after I had started to make some money, after I started working a little bit, I was able to make a huge upgrade. And I did pretty soon after getting that first microphone. I did get my laptop, which I'm still using right now. Um, but soon after that, I was able to get get a package where it came with two studio monitors, um, microphone cables, speaker cables, and basic interface just to connect the microphone and the speakers and my computer and whatever. And that's what I'm using right now. I have my interface right over here, and I have my microphone obviously right here. I have my studios uh, behind the camera right now. So yeah, that's really how my equipment evolved. It's nothing crazy. Like I don't have a huge interface and nothing like that. But um, this will probably be my setup for a while.
Hmm.
I was able to find a decent microphone for a good price. So yeah, that's how my equipment evolved over time.
Hmm. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Like it is a journey, absolutely. When you first get into something, even for myself, when it came to the podcasting, I started out with a Blue Yeti, and just kept building around. One thing that I didn't know, like just getting into equipment and stuff like that, is how expensive it could be. So starting out,
Yeah.
yeah, like this stuff costs money, especially if you want something quality. So absolutely understand. And I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this and who got into audio and recording vocals and things like that, I'm sure everybody feels you with that. So
I think
uh
a lot of people don't understand too. Well, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no,
but
go ahead, go ahead.
I think a lot of people don't understand too, like what you said, just how expensive stuff gets and how quick it gets expensive. Like just for the DAW, just for the interface, FL Studio 20, that's $400 right there. And then you get plugins for that, and that's hundreds of dollars. The microphone alone is a decent microphone is like $200, $300. Monitors is like $60 to $100. An interface can be anywhere from $100 to $300. And then like room treatment. Like I have the same sound panels back here.
Mhm.
Uh, like it's only $40, but it's like um, you still only get to do half your room. So I think people really don't realize like how quick it gets like expensive. Um, just getting a setup and everything like that.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. So, but at the end of the day, you know what, you did it, and you, if you have that drive, that passion to make music, like you said, you were doing it, you were recording off of the phone. You got the USB to USB-C, and you was recording off of the phone. So, that's what's up. Definitely, got to give you props for that, because if there's a will, there's a way. You'll make it happen if you want to. So, if if I never heard 3G music before, say somebody just heard of you, they just heard the name, they don't know anything about you. How would you describe your music to someone?
Um, I would have to say currently in relation and like relating to the stuff that I have out right now, expect lyricism, expect heavy focus on rhyme schemes, expect quality production, expect um, catchy melodies, um, expect a roller coaster of emotions. You can either, because the music that I have out right now, you can either um, just sit there like my lemon pepper freestyle. You can just sit back and think, and you can think about the bars, and you can think about um, all the different stuff that's going on just in the first verse alone. You can sit back and think about that, but then at the same time, you got like Boss, the song that I did with Quinston, or you got Popping Off, um, where it's um, where it's like a hype track. But even with Popping Off, like Um, it's meant to be a hype track, but at the same time, like I'm really talking about some real stuff on there. Like I'm talking, like in that one song, I talk about what's currently going on in my life. I talk about a lot of my upbringing towards the end. Um, I just speak on a lot of stuff that I'm passionate about, and I do all that in one song. Um, so I would say definitely don't expect the same thing twice. Like I might do um, an album and an EP and a few singles that are in one style. But as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going on the next thing. Um, I would say expect versatility, um, expect multiple different styles of music, um, and expect improvement, obviously, because I'm always getting better. Um, I would say as well, expect quality, um, and expect just to have a good experience, I would say.
Mhm. Now you have a project coming up, right? We kind of talked about it before we started recording, and you've been promoting it on the gram. What project do you have coming up? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so the project I have hold on one second. The project, let me start over. The project I have coming up is called 3XZ. And that's a collab EP with a good friend of mine. And his name is Ziggy T. So yeah, we came together for this EP. It's been in the works for 2 years. Been recording, mixing, choosing the production over the course of the last year and a half. Um, been making revisions to the lyrics, making it just constantly improving on it. Um, and now we finally have our finished product, and it's got to be the best music that I've ever put out. Um, it starts off, with it's energetic, but the first song it's energetic, but it's serious, it's sobering, um, and we really voice our drive and our hunger in the game, um, and just and we just voice how we're trying to make it and how much we really want this, um, and then um, we give you these crazy bangers that could seriously be on the radio. Then we ended off with a note with another um, more um, emotional, um, more sobering kind of track where you really got to think um, we really just express again just our emotions and how we're feeling and things we've gone through. Um, so yeah, I mean that's really the EP. Um, but the thing with it is we just really have fun with it, um, and we just wanted to make something just really enjoyable to listen to, something that stays true to us, um, but isn't so niche that only a certain group of people can listen to it. I think there's a song on there for everybody. It's 6 tracks, six tracks, but I think no matter who you are, you can find something to like on that EP. It has everything. It has lyricism. If you're if you're really into the lyrics aspect of it, um, if you're into the storytelling kind of thing, we definitely dive into that. And if you just like vibing to music, which is most people, then you'll definitely love the EP. Because yeah, like I said, we just have fun making it, um, and so and that resulted in probably the best music we've made so far. So I'm really excited for this to drop, and that'll be coming out on the 24th this month. So just a week away. Um, but yeah, that's the EP.
Okay, so now Ziggy T, I'm not familiar. I apologize for all the Ziggy T fans out there, but so does Ziggy T, what does he do? Does he rap, sing, produce?
He's a rapper. Yeah.
Okay. So you and Ziggy T, who did the production on this upcoming project?
Um, we found really just it was mostly type beats we found off of
Got
YouTube,
you.
just free profit type beats. Um, but you can definitely notice that I put my little touch on there. Like I put a few, like beat beat stops and or like beat cuts throughout the thing, or
Mhm.
I put like a little um just like some interesting stuff in the beat in the production to spice it up. But yeah, it's mostly just free for profit type beats we found on YouTube.
So what was the process like recording for this project? Now, is Ziggy T, are you guys kind of local to each other where y'all can meet up and record? Or do you do everything like, you record a verse, send it to him, he'll record something, and how was the recording process?
Well, like I said, it's been in the works for a year and a half,
Mhm.
2 years. So um and I recorded all my stuff um probably about a year and a half to a year ago. Um, and I just recorded that on that was all on my old microphone. Somehow I still ended up making it sound good. But yeah, so I recorded everything about a year ago. That was my verse. My verses, my hooks and whatever. Um, but then it was just earlier this year that I was able to um, meet up with him, and I was able to record all his verses just in one studio session. Um, I was just able to take my setup over to his house, set it up in his little studio, um, record it, and then I just went home, mixed it, mastered everything, put the finishing touches on it, and um, yeah, that was really it for the recording process.
Mhm. All right. So, what are some of the things that you learned about yourself as an artist since you've been recording?
Um, I've learned that I'm definitely at my best when I feel like I'm alone by myself. When I feel like that I have complete freedom to express whatever I need to express. Um, and when I feel like it's just me, ain't nobody else listening. When I isolate myself, that's when I'm at my best. When I truly isolate myself, um, I feel like okay, now I can really say what I need to say. I think that's when I give my best performance. Um, Early on, I was really shy. I think that's with anybody first getting onto a microphone or like getting in front of a camera. When I first started out, I was really shy, so all my recordings would sound like really unenthusiastic, or they would sound just kind of mid, I guess. Um, they, they didn't sound it didn't sound like I was really. It sounded like I was reading from somebody else's lyrics that I had never read before. Um, that I didn't have any relation to, that I didn't, you know, care about. And that's what it sounded like at first. But eventually, I think I was able to break out of that, break out of my comfort zone and be like, okay, um, like this is my song. This is something I'm really passionate about. Um, and that came as well with me actually writing lyrics that I was more passionate about, writing stuff that I believed, writing stuff that really came from within me and not from somewhere else or coming from somebody else or nothing like that. But yeah, I think when I'm at my best is just when I'm able to isolate myself and when I'm able to fully express myself. Um, like some people, they'll have like 10, 20 people with them in the studio, um, and they'll just record like that. For me, it's got to be like just by myself, so I can do whatever I need to do um, to sound as good as possible. I think that's when I'm at my best. That's what I've learned is when I can give my best performance when recording.
Okay. So um I would imagine on the new project 3XZ that we'll be able to see that progression from some of your older songs to what you're going to be dropping on the 24th. Is that safe to assume?
Oh, definitely, definitely. There's gonna be even from um nah, because even from like popping off, um, my most recent song that I dropped, um, like that's I like to think that that's a pretty good song. Um, I like to think that's one of the better ones that I've released. Um, but even that I probably wouldn't put on 3XZ. It's just, I mean, I would if I really needed an extra track, but um, I think, yeah, I think 3XZ just blows everything that I've done up to this point out of the water. So definitely safe to assume that you're gonna see progression and you're gonna see improvement.
That's what's up. So another thing I wanted to ask about, and this can go into the conversation of 3XZ and the emotion and things that you put into your music. What can we expect theme wise when it comes to your music? Because you talked about how you do express yourself and you tell your story. What are, if you could just give us like a glimpse of like some of those stories that we'll be able to hear from your music?
Well, up to this point, um, in regards to the music that I've already put out, um, some of the themes that are relevant or that keep coming up in my music, um, it's probably just, um, and I'll touch on it later, um, but just some of the things that I'll battle with my own self, um, things that I go through, just um, kind of an internal fight with myself. Um, you also hear about, um, like just things that I've felt having to pick up and move on my life, never being in one spot, never feeling like anywhere is home. Um, you know, not feeling like I belong nowhere. Um, because I am mixed, I'm Mexican and white. So um just that's something that um I know anybody that's mixed can relate to, not feeling like you fit in one group or the other group. Like you feel like you're too this for one group or you're too this for the other group. So you kind of feel stuck in the middle. You don't feel like you really belong nowhere. Um and just kind of feeling like, I'm by myself. So really a lot of just internal struggle. Um really, but like I said, that's not as prevalent in the music that I've put out so far. Um, it'll be a little bit more present on 3XZ. But like I said, 3XZ is really just a little bit more fun, a little bit more lighthearted,
Mhm.
mostly. So I don't touch on that as much. On 3XZ, it's more um, just talking my talk. Um, just yeah, just hype tracks really, for the majority of 3XZ. Talking about my again my hunger in the game, um, my passion for this, my passion for music, what makes me want to keep going, um, and like just my want, like how much I want to really reach my goals. Um, but after 3XZ, um, I think I'm definitely going to be touching more than I ever have on that internal struggle, kind of thing. I don't want to say too much, about the music that I don't have out yet. But um, I think you can definitely expect for me to touch on that a little bit more, touch on the struggles that I've gone through, um, and talking about the things that I've had to overcome in my life. Um, and that, yeah, like I said, that will probably be after 3XZ, but mainly in 3XZ, the themes will be more just talking my talk, um, just lyricism, um, catchy melodies, um, and yeah, that's really the kind of themes that you'll get from 3XZ.
Mhm. Okay, so we're definitely looking forward to that. And I think thank you for, expressing all of that. I think a lot of people can feel what you're going through, especially in the music. I want to ask, do you find music to be like a sense of therapy? Not only listening to music, but more so making it too when you're on that computer, messing around with tracks, messing around with your vocals, writing down lyrics, recording. Is that just does that give you a sense of calmness, peace? How does it feel just making music in general?
No, yeah, that definitely gives me, um, like you said, a sense of calm or peace. Um, because I've never really been like a great speaker. I either talk way too much or not enough. Um, like I'll go off on um like a tangent or something, um, and then I'll become self-aware of that, and then just not say nothing at all from that point on. And it's just kind of a cycle. So I've never really been like great at expressing myself just in regular conversation. Um, but like with music, I'm able to think about what I want to say, um, and put it into artistic expression, and that's just been something with me like all my life, whether it's drawing, whether it's writing, whether it's poetry, whether it's music, whether it's um, playing an instrument, like all those different kinds of artistic expression have always been like outs for me, to be able to express myself, um, and to be able to kind of either deal with what I'm going through or to escape from just what I'm dealing with at at the present moment. So yeah, it's definitely like a form of therapy for me. Music and, like I said, really just any kind of artistic expression.
Mhm. Okay, so uh, with this project coming up, we're building the anticipation. Today is it's December 12th. This is going to come out before the 24th, but it's not too far away. So uh, you're you came on the show, black jacket, hat on, shirt, but there's something you got merch coming out. I guess that's my long way of saying uh you got some merch coming out. Can you get into that?
Well, yeah. So this is the merchandise, brand new merchandise. So and this design right here. This is the back cover of this is the image on the back cover of the EP. Um, but so this is actually the first shirt that I printed. Just printed this last night. Um, so yeah, so this is the first design. This a natural color cream white shirt. Um, um, Good design, and then on the back as well, there's a design. You got 3XZ going across the back. Uh, Really cool looking T-shirt. I think my goal with it was to make it, even if you've never heard of the EP, just to make a really good looking T-shirt.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so my goal with the merchandise is to um, just to spread the word about 3XZ. The more people I can get wearing it, the better. Because you walk around wearing the T-shirt and it's got these big this big word on the back. People are gonna be like, "Hey, what's 3XZ?" Um, hopefully that's the hope with it, um, and it's just to um, get that out to as many people as possible. Start selling, um, turn it into a small business, really, and just like I said, make some nice t-shirts, while still being able to promote the EP and to get the word out there.
How can we cop a shirt? Where can we how can we get in contact to cop a shirt?
Um, well, that will be once I'm able to get my Shopify set up, because I ain't gonna come on here and lie to you. I don't even got the whole Shopify thing set up. Um, but once I do have that set up, you'll actually be able to buy it through my Spotify. Um,
Okay.
there'll be a merch section on my Spotify, and I'll do more announcements on this kind of I'll update everybody, once I really get the ball rolling with it. Um, but yeah, so it'll be available on my website, which is linked already in my Instagram bio, in my Spotify bio, SoundCloud bio, YouTube bio. So it'll be available on my website. It'll be available on Spotify. You'll be able to buy it as well through, if there's anybody that lives anywhere near me, the Columbus, Ohio area. Um, that's another way that you'll be able to, because eventually my hope is to start doing just some tables or some pop-up shops or things like that, with the t-shirts. And then as well, I mean, if people want a t-shirt, I mean, they can just DM me on Instagram and I'll ship it out to them. Um, we'll figure out payment and whatever. But yeah, so my website, Spotify, DMs, and in person.
All right, now, so yeah, you heard him. So just give him a second to get that Shopify up. You just got to be a little patient to get that shirt, but them shirts is coming soon. So was there anything else that you wanted to say? Any shout outs? Any other things that I may have not asked that you just wanted to speak on?
Um, I don't think so. But then again, I don't remember things very well, so
That's all
it
right.
might be I'm forgetting too. But I don't think so. Um, I would just say, yeah, I don't think so. I
All
think we
right.
pretty much covered everything.
All right, I always gotta ask just in case. I know I don't ask every single question, so I just gotta throw that out there. So thank you for coming on. Absolutely, this is our first time, speaking in person. Uh, we're not that far away, but Columbus, I'd be in Cleveland sometimes, but Columbus is like 4 hours away from Cleveland, isn't it? 3, 4 hours.
Cleveland. I've only been to Cincinnati. That was like an hour and a half.
Got you.
Um, I don't really know where Cleveland's at, but
Yeah, you only been in Columbus for a few months too. That's right. So
yeah,
yeah, well, I'll say this. I hope everything in Columbus goes okay. I know you got a situation going back and forth state to state. I know that can't be easy. I moved around a lot. I'm from Pittsburgh. I moved around a lot within Pittsburgh, but I done moved to Georgia. I got my family still in Georgia, and I bounced around from school to school. It gets tiring. So I know how that is, not fitting in, not finding a place. I don't know if you know Earl Sweatshirt. He had a lyric, too black for the white kids and too white for the black. Like that's
right.
that was kind of the bubble that I was in growing up.
That's
And
what I was trying to say earlier. Like too Mexican for the white kids, too white for the Mexican kids, and it's like, so really most of my friends just end up being black.
my man. So yeah, like I think a lot of those things that you have gone through, I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it, especially when it's in the form of music. So just like I was able to quote that Earl Sweatshirt lyric, you got some bars like that just talking about not fitting in. I know a lot of people just in general can feel that. So salute to you, keep up, keep doing your thing, keeping your head above water. uh I'm sure you got a lot of support out there from people. But that's it. That's the Cool Hand podcast. We're looking forward to it. Got the collab project with Ziggy T coming out. The merch is coming. This is 3G. Absolutely.
And I appreciate you having me on real quick. I don't want to leave without saying that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on, man. It's a blessing for real. It's my first interview, so I apologize if like I was a bit awkward and stuff. But I really appreciate you having me on, man.
Oh yeah, no problem. This come on, man. Ain't a bunch of people about to see this, so it's all good. Like this ain't no like super big. This ain't hot 97 power 105.
And that's the goal eventually.
We'll be happy if 30 people watch this. So don't worry about being awkward or anything like that. So it's all good. But yeah, thanks for coming on. This is the Cool Hand podcast. Something you got to deal with. Easy.